Little Bird watercolor painting tutorial with gouache background. For this painting practice I'm using watercolor paper from my sketchbook, which is 300 GSM hot pressed cotton paper. Applying tape around composition to form a neat frame, as I will be applying gouache paints towards the finishing part. After removing this tape, I will have a neat and crisp edge around my composition. With an elastic eraser, removing excess amount of graphite off the paper, preparing color palette, watercolor set for mixing watercolors. Pigments that will be used: lemon yellow, second mix Indian yellow together with Sennelier Red, sometimes used only Indian yellow, third mix Indian yellow, Perylene Maroon and a little touch of Sennelier Red, and for gray mix Ultramarine Blue, lemon yellow and little touch of Sennelier Red. You can use Cadmium red, Windsor red, any red pigment that you have. Let's start painting. We will start with the body part of this robin bird, and I'm starting with water layer with round synthetic brush. The approach of painting this bird will be the same as I am painting flowers. I am not at the beginning looking at this robin as a bird, I'm just looking at it as a subject, as a form, and his body, that beautiful vibrant yellowish orangey body, is round subject. So I'm thinking how to form it round and with volume and looking realistic. I'm not concerned about is it a bird, is it a flower, is it a leaf, it doesn't matter. I'm looking at a form. Of course there are some differences. For example, the bottom part, we see in the reference that there are legs and it's not completely all roundish and smooth all around. There are some anatomical features of the bird. Applying first layer to the head, and we see in the reference there are so many feathers, little lines, but we need to look beyond those feathers, beyond those lines. What is the background for all that? There are gray color and I see brown color, also some blue areas, and now I'm applying base color on which I will be applying later with a finer tip brush those little brush strokes, but for now I need to paint the base color. The same is with the body. I see in the reference there are a lot of feathers, but I'm not now thinking about feathers. Those are details. I'm thinking which color is beyond all those beautiful details of this bird. Full video is available on my Patreon channel. Painting of this flame robin took 1 hour from starting till finishing brush strokes. If you want to level up your watercolor painting skills and enjoy the process, consider subscribing to my Patreon learning space. Tutorials are available to all painting levels. And while you're watching this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you find it helpful, consider subscribing to my channel. New videos and tutorials coming out every week. Painting technique is little tiny brush strokes, as thin as possible, because we see in the reference that those so thin, so little those feathers, and I'm achieving that with the very tip of the brush, small brush strokes, but I follow the reference, I'm zoom in closer the area that I'm painting, and I'm looking how those feathers are formed, where are they going, the direction of the growth, and I'm doing the same with my brush. And now with the fine brush strokes, I'm applying Indian yellow and a little touch of Sennelier Red, also as tiny brush strokes for those feathers. And if you take a closer look, you will notice that it's not completely smooth. If we look from the distance on this robin, we will see that his body, this yellowish part, is very smooth and roundish. But as we look closer, we search for details, we search for different tonal values, we start to notice that there are different directions of feathers. There are some areas that are darker, then again there's some area lighter. You need to look for these details in order for the bird to look more realistic and more lifelike. Outer edge line for this bird, no need to make it crisp and even. Even little brush strokes, little feathers can go out of the edge line. Moving forward with feathers, using lamb black and a mix of lamb black, ultramarine blue and Indian yellow. And building layers here as well, gradually with tiny brush strokes. More darkness to eye. As I apply more watercolors around, this eye starts to look lighter, and that is normal. That is better to have it lighter rather than don't know how to make it lighter. We can always go darker. The problem is with watercolors to go lighter. Gradually building darkness of the feathers. I see that compared to the reference, my bird is still quite light. The upper part is quite light, so I need to build more layers of fine brush strokes. Now back to the body. And now I will be applying tiny brush strokes in different directions that I see in the reference. I noticed that there are some areas where feathers are going more sideways. Some are going straight down. Careful observation of the reference, just the same as with flowers. Now I'm happy with the bird and I want to paint background. And I like the reference, the dark, deep green color. So I'm taking my gouache paints using indigo, cadmium yellow and cadmium lemon. Now that the bird is painted, background is in place and rock is also in place, I can compare my painting to the reference. And as everything is almost finished, I see that some area needs a little bit more darkness, as this, for example, tail part, compared to the rock in the reference, tail is much darker. Now's the time that we can go darker, we can add darkness. It would be hard if we would apply background and notice that our bird is too dark and lost its light and vibrancy. So better to have it much lighter and we can add watercolors more. Applying finishing brush strokes to this beautiful bird. And this is my first bird with watercolors and I'm really happy with the result. I was skeptical but I liked it. I really liked the process of painting bird and how it comes to life. Something interesting in seeing a really lifelike subject with eyes and legs, not just flowers, petals and leaves. Hope you also enjoyed this tutorial and maybe learned something new if you never tried birds. If you already tried, I would like to hear your comments. How is my approach to painting birds? And thank you for watching. See you in my next tutorials. Bye bye.